Alright, good morning guys. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about monogamy. A lot of us know it as the most normal form and most practiced form to most of us in today's societies of relationships. Well, I just want to take a minute to look through the past, the history, and our brain's standpoint on monogamy. Because though most people think it might be the most normal, most natural fitting relationship for us, it actually isn't. So first off, I want to start off by explaining how in today's society, in America, we found that 28% of marriages end when they're divorced because of infidelity. So that'll either be the man cheating on the wife or the wife cheating on the man. Either way, someone's cheating on the other one when it's supposed to be someone you love, someone that you care for, someone that you just said you would be willing to spend the rest of your life with. So the way we can explain this through the neurobiological standpoint is when we look at human brains, they have the main primary function in relationships and in reproductive cycles of three things, and that's the sex drive, the romantic love portion of the brain, and the partner attachment. Now, with partner attachment, it's usually only long enough to last for however long child rearing lasts, which in human standpoint is only about 2 years. So after 2 years, you lose that partner attachment to your couple. With the romantic love, it's supposed to last a bit longer, but the primary function of the romantic love was initially made so that when you first encounter someone, you don't have to get to know them. You get that love at first sight notion. You get that, wow, I love this person. And that was because, from an anthropological standpoint, humans, when we grew up in a caveman type society, we didn't have the time to go on a date and learn if we liked the person we were with. We just needed to reproduce and produce an offspring. And then there's the sex drive. The sex drive is just, for males, it's to get as much of your genetic sequence out as possible and reproduce with as many women as you can. So that's why men will cheat. And with females, it's just to make sure that you find the perfect person to give your genetic material to. So with a female, if she sees another guy that might be better than the guy she's with, she instinctively will want to go after that. Just as a man, if he sees another woman, will instinctively want to go after that, because that's just the way our brains will function. Now, another thing that we can tell from an anthropological standpoint is that monogamy actually was never really something natural to humans. We initially had to have laws in place to force monogamy into place. So where this all originated from, most people think it's from Christianity. Christianity helped a lot, but Christianity mainly spread it. It initially was in the Greco-Roman era when monogamy laws were first put into place by rulers. Now these rulers put these laws into place for a simple reason. They wanted a bigger kingdom. They wanted a bigger empire. And what produces more offsprings wasn't having a polygamous style society, which they were used to back then. It was having a monogamous one, because then every man in that society will get a woman. He'll be able to find one, because not all of them will be taken by the higher ranking men. Now, since they're not taken by the higher ranking men, he doesn't have to leave this society and go find another society to live in to find himself a wife, which every man wants. So the laws were placed into effect with strict punishments that if you were to have a polygamous relationship, you would be in prison. So most monogamous relationships began to happen that way. Now a lot of people think, well, we've moved past from that, we don't need big empires anymore, so why do we continue having monogamous relationships? And that's just because of the moral situation of it. From so many years of this being a law, and so many years of us being so sure we had to follow this law, we've become adapted to having this as our morals. And then that's where Christianity takes place with monogamy. So once we developed it as a moral system, the Christians emplaced it as a Christian system of monogamy, where Christianity would then spread it for us, which happened in the US. In the USA, it's illegal to practice polygamy. You cannot have 2 marriage certificates for one man. So what happened was, in the initial stages of the US development, there was a group, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now this Church of Latter-day Saints, they first started pushing for monogamous relationships to be illegal. Now, when they did, the U.S. was conflicted about it, but later it was ruled in a Supreme Court that since the U.S. was majority Christian, it then followed this Christian moral standpoint. Now, that pushed forth for this new law, for that law to pass, making polygamous relationships illegal, which you can see instances of it if any of you guys ever watched The Sister Wives, a TV show that aired on TLC. It followed a polygamous group of family, one man, multiple wives, and they've had multiple run-ins with the law, and they had to escape, and they couldn't. So they eventually had to take their show down, went to court for it, and even in court were found wrongfully found to be illegal, which I don't think it should be. They were just practicing their religion, but that's for you guys to judge on your own terms. Now, another reason why most people claim that it seems more natural for us to be monogamous is because our babies aren't babies like lizard babies or like snake babies where they come out of the egg and they're ready to go and they can just do everything on their own. With humans, our babies take a while to learn how to do stuff. To us, we think it's 18 years because that's what this law says. 18-year-old child, then he's not a child, he's an adult. But the actual findings show that when you are producing an offspring, your brain produces high levels of vasopressin and oxytocin towards your child. So whenever you look at it, you get these spikes. And these spikes are the love chemicals in the brain. They make you love that child. They make you want to do anything you can for that child. And it also produces a serotonin spike when you look at your kid, because it's your offspring and you're happy to see him. And the happiness and the love chemicals all together give you this relationship of a bond with your child. Now, this bond with the child lasts for life. So you will always have this bond with your child. But the difference is you get the same bond with your partner, but it only lasts 2 years. So studies showed that when we took people that were in a relationship and they had a child, they would always have that spike during moments where they would be looking at their offspring. But once we started getting them to look at their partner, we realized that they only have this spike for about 2 to 3 years. Now, we might think it's weird that 2 to 3 years is the amount of time that the human body naturally thinks we need to raise a child. But when you look back as an anthropological standpoint, you realize that back when we were in the caveman eras, back when we were hunter-gatherers, we didn't have to have a child be raised for so long by a couple because the whole tribe would raise it. The whole village would raise one child. That's where the expression of it takes a village to raise a child comes from, is that it's not just that one couple raising the child. So it allows for the man to no longer feel this love for his wife because he can still go produce a baby with another woman in the tribe, and both children will be protected by the tribe. But then when it's still the young infant stage where you have to carry it around and it can't walk, that's when you still need to be with the woman, because then the man needs to be at all times by the offspring's side and by the woman's side to protect both the woman and child. So it seems that when we look at it, most of the stuff we've been grown accustomed to, most of the monogamous relationships, this love that we see, it's just ways that our brain likes to function to make sure that we can raise this offspring correctly, which just shows that monogamy doesn't tend to lean towards the natural side of things with humans. But then again, as humans are, we always seem to go for something that we don't have. We always go for that mythical, something special, that super-esque power that we want. Why we look at superheroes all the time. That's why we look at love this way. That's why we look at it as this thing that, though it's not natural to us, it's what we all crave, it's what we all want. Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it.